End credit scenes used to be a focal point for the MCU. They would tie the interconnected universe together as well as tease the plans of future movies. And the payoffs were pretty immediate, like Iron Man's post-credit scene leading up to the Avengers and the Avengers post-credit scene leading up to Thanos. But nowadays, it seems like the MCU has thrown so much on their plate that they don't even remember what they were building towards with some of these scenes. Not only that, but other studios started copying this formula because of how successful it was, which led to some real sorry-ass attempts to cash in. So today I'd like to talk about scenes that never paid off or scenes that were just downright stupid. And maybe then we can go back to end credit scenes being actually meaningful, or maybe they just get rid of them entirely, because honestly, at this point, we don't really need them. My butt is sore from sitting in the same position for 2 hours straight, and I have to pee really badly. You think I really want to wait for the entire credits to roll through just for me to watch a pointless scene that leads nowhere? First up, we have the end credits scene from Doctor Strange. That's right, the first Doctor Strange movie that came out in 2016. I bet you guys don't even remember that movie because it was almost 10 years ago. I am getting I'm getting old, guys. Oh my god. Now, in this end credit scene, it's revealed that Baron Mordo has become evil because he's going around sucking the magic out of other people. And he's like, oh, no more sorcerers. There's too many of them in this world. Aw, shit, man. Baron Mordo's about to be the main villain in the second Doctor Strange movie. This sequel is about to go crazy.
No.
Yeah, so he wasn't the main villain of the second movie. In fact, the second movie had absolutely nothing to do with the first movie. What the fuck? You're telling me Baron Mordo has been out there just stealing magic from people for years, and Doctor Strange has been sitting around jerking off doing absolutely nothing about it?
Are you serious right now, bro?
Wow, so genius, Marvel. Yeah, let's tease something that has absolutely nothing to do with the sequel, and let's make Doctor Strange feel like a side character, even though the movie is named after him. That's just awesome. And speaking of the second Doctor Strange movie, the end credits for that scene, we'll probably never see anything come out of that one either. In this scene, they introduce Clea, who becomes Doctor Strange's wife in the comics, but who knows if we'll ever see that happen. Next up, we have Spider-Man Homecoming's end credits scene, where they tease Scorpion. This movie came out in 2017, and for years this scene had absolutely no payoff and no follow-up, but as of recently, it was announced that Scorpion would be appearing in the new Spider-Man movie Brand New Day, which comes out next year. So yeah, I know this video was supposed to be about scenes that never paid off, but I just felt like including this one anyways because it took 9 whole years for it to happen. Like 9 years, bro. I've went through the entirety of high school and college, and they're just now following up on that scene. There are people out there who were kids when this movie first came out, and now they're married and have their own children. Bruh. It's the same as when they made the leader the main villain of the most recent Captain America movie. Like, who actually remembers the leader existing in the MCU? Like, I can just imagine someone watching that Captain America movie trying to figure out who the villain is, and then it ends up being the leader, and they're like, who the fuck is this big head ass mega mind looking ass boy, bro?
Pickle ass boy.
Duh, don't you guys remember? The leader was introduced in the Incredible Hulk movie back in 2008, which was 17 years ago. Jeez, guys, that wasn't that long ago. How do you not remember the leader being in that movie? What are you, stupid? 17 years ago? That's older than some of the people watching this video right now. Anyways, I'm getting off topic here. I'm supposed to be talking about end credit scenes. But, the MCU just fucking pisses me off sometimes, man. There's also that end credit scene in No Way Home where they tease the Venom symbiote being left in the main universe. Now, I would like to think that this scene's gonna get followed up on pretty soon, and we're gonna get introduced to symbiote Spider-Man within the coming movies, especially considering one of the next movies coming out is Avengers Secret Wars, and the Secret Wars comic event is literally where the symbiote suit got introduced. But at the same time, with what we've heard about Brand New Day, it's sounding like it's jam-packed with a bunch of characters, and then they're gonna follow that up with 2 Avengers movies, and you're telling me they're gonna introduce the symbiote suit at the same time they have all of this shit going on? It sounds like a lot of stuff, but it also sounds really, really cool. And, at this point, I have no faith in the MCU, so it's kind of hard for me to believe that they're actually going to do something cool and follow up on this scene. But even then, I genuinely don't understand how they're going to connect this end credit scene to how he actually acquires the symbiote suit. This entire end credit scene just seems like a mistake. I don't know why this is a thing. The next end credit scenes I want to talk about are from Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Fucking stupid ass. I genuinely forgot that this guy even existed and that he had a movie. I'm not gonna lie to you. Which is crazy because I'm Asian. So if anyone were to remember that this movie existed, it should have been someone like me. So this movie actually has 2 end credit scenes. And in the first one, they're discussing the origin of the 10 rings. And, of course, this scene led absolutely nowhere because we still don't know where these things came from. I mean, what was the point of this scene? Was it just to establish that he has connections with other Avengers members? I mean, that one doesn't really make any sense either because he hasn't appeared in another Marvel project since his own movie, which was 4 years ago. And there hasn't been any updates on the sequel. And in the second end credit scene, it shows his sister taking over as the leader for the 10 Rings group, which... Again, what is the point of this? Is this trying to set something up? I guess we'll have to wait and see 9 years later if they potentially follow up on this scene. Next up, we have 2 more end credit scenes, which came from the Eternals. The first one showed off Thanos' brother, Star Fox, who is played by Harry Styles for some reason.
What is that? Oh,
yeah, quite an interesting character for them to choose to adapt, considering he gets up to some questionable behavior in the comics. And then the second one teased Black Knight.
whoa!
Yeah, I don't know about that one, buddy. I don't think we're gonna see any of these characters in the future of the MCU. I think they're gonna just brush this under the rug and pretend like the Eternals movie never happened, considering it flopped so hard. And genuinely, who watched this movie? I'm dying to know. I'm very curious. Who actually sat down and watched this movie? Because I sure didn't. I remember when they were trying to tie in the Eternals into comics, trying to get people introduced to these new characters as if I cared about them. They were really trying to sell people on these characters. I don't care about Marvel's bootleg version of the New Gods, alright? I know it's both made by Jack Kirby, but I don't care about the Eternals, man. Okay, maybe I care a little bit about the Eternals. Godly beings in comic books is more of a DC thing. But what about Thor? Speaking of Thor, there was an end credit scene in Love and Thunder where they introduced Hercules. When will we see Hercules in an actual MCU movie? Who knows? At the pace that they're working at here, we may all be dead by that point. Maybe my grandchildren's grandchildren will see that movie in the theaters. Or maybe we'll see it in 9 years. And how could we forget the end credit scene in Ant-Man Quantumania where they set up the big bad, Kang the Conqueror? Oh wait, that's not happening anymore. Listen, as much as I like Doctor Doom, I feel it's very unfortunate that we never actually got to see Kang in the MCU. Moment of silence for that idea. That would have been dope to see Kang. Now moving on to end credit scenes that are Marvel but not within the MCU. We have the scenes from the Morbius movie, where MCU Vulture is transported into Morbius's universe, where he then approaches Morbius and he's like, hey, we should team up. And then Morbius is like, the morb the merrier. Yeah, actually, what the hell was the point of this post-credit scene? Somebody at Sony thought they were cooking with this. Yeah, we got a really good character on our hands here. People would love Morbius if we could just somehow find a way to put him into the MCU.
Boy, if you don't...
But that's not the only time Sony was scheming to do something stupid, because back when Andrew Garfield was Spider-Man, there was a deleted end credits scene in his second movie where they teased the Sinister Six. Whoa, those Doc Ock's tentacles, Vulture's wings, Rhino soup, bro. Yeah, there was supposed to be an entire Sinister Six movie, and the movie was reportedly gonna be a tale of redemption. Ah yes, the Sinister Six, of course, the group of villains that gather together to kill Spider-Man and murder him and fucking rip his skin off, of course. Let's make the movie about those villains redeeming themselves. Genius.